Welcome to another Beacon demonstration video. Today I'll be taking you through how to update the Android PDT as part of a series of videos covering the Android PDT. So sometimes after a Beacon upgrade is performed on your back office there, the version on the PDT will also need to be updated to match the new version. The steps I'm going to take you through are very helpful to make sure you've got the latest version on the PDT device. This just helps us to clean up and make sure the PDT's got the correct version to improve stability on your PDT device. So the first thing I'm going to do is just going to press the home button to close off or minimize this Beacon program down there. Now the next thing I'm going to do is swipe up from the bottom center. So with my finger, I'm just going to swipe upwards and you'll see this prompt come up on the screen here. So this is all the programs on the PDT, and specifically we're going to hold the finger down on the Beacon PDT icon there. So I'm going to tap on that and it's going to come up with this prompt to say app info. So I'm going to tap on that app info option and it's going to take me to this screen here. Now what I'm going to do is uninstall this older version of the Android PDT software. So we're going to click on the uninstall button there. And it's going to say, are you sure you want to uninstall the app? We do say OK to that prompt. It's currently uninstalling the app, and then you'll notice now once it's done, the Beacon icon has now disappeared off your PDT screen there. So the next step is we're going to also delete the folder that was on here. Whilst we're still on the same screen, there is a files option there. So we tap on that and it loads up all the folders on this device. Now, we currently have two different PDT models and it might be slightly different, but basically what you want to do is up the top left-hand corner, you've got the three lines up there. You tap on that, and then on the bottom half of the left-hand side, you'll notice the PDT models. Whichever one you've got, it's the same thing. You just want to tap on that option down the bottom there, and then it'll load up the folders on that device. And one of them will be the Beacon folder, which we do see here. So with my finger, I'm just going to hold it down again on the Beacon icon. You'll see once I've held it down, a little tick has happened, and you'll also see up the top right hand corner, a little recycle bin option there. So I'm going to click on that with my finger, and it says, do I want to delete the contents of the Beacon folder? Yep, I do. So I click OK. It's now deleted the folder there. Great. So we've completely uninstalled Beacon and we've completely removed all the old remnants of the Beacon program files there. So that's completely gone. Now we can actually go ahead and reinstall the Beacon program. So we can just press the circle button again to go back to the main screen. If you've got Google Chrome icon, you can tap on it there, or same thing again, swipe up from the bottom center and just tap on Chrome there. So once Chrome loads on the screen there, what you want to do is just tap where it says search or type URLs. That's the search bar. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use our back office beacon. So if you go to your back office beacon, you go up to the help menu, you click on where it says download PDT software. So you click on that and this QR code loads on your screen there. So now what we do is just with that, we're going to use the scan button. If your model of PDT has a gun trigger, you can squeeze it or just press the scan button. You're going to point it at the QR code on the screen there like so, and then holding down the scan, it's going to scan that data. Now, once I've done that, on the PDT, you'll see it will come up with a prompt like this saying, do I want to download the APK file or do I want to download it again? That's fine. I want to say download again. Sometimes it'll come up with a prompt to say, do you want to download securely, keep it or discard it? You always want to say keep it. Okay, it's going to download it like so. It'll have an option up the top there. Press open. If you don't see the option to say open, you can always click on the three dots up the top right and go to downloads. And you'll see the file that you want is there, that one, the top one there. So that's fine, I'll just tap on it, but opens the same thing as well. So you're now trying to install the Beacon PDT software, which is called the MBPDA.apk. You'll see a prompt like this come up on the screen. It says, do you want to install this application? I do say yes, I want to install it. And it's going to come up and say installing. This will just take about a few seconds, not too long at all. Okay, once it has successfully installed, you should see a prompt like this saying app installed. If it doesn't say that, if it says something else, you might want to contact Beacon support just so we can verify. But most of the time, if you just follow those steps, it'll work like that. So I'm going to tap on open now. Okay, so the first time you do this, it's going to come up and ask you to allow access to certain files on the PDT. You just have to hit the allow option to the first prompt and then again allow to the second prompt. Okay, so that's great. We've done that part. Now there's one final step, sometimes necessary to give full permissions to the PDT. So we're going to press that circle or home button down the bottom there to go back. We're going to swipe up again. We're going to go to Beacon PDT, and this time I'm going to hold my finger again down on it. So hold it down for a sec. App info is what we want again. So we're going to tap on that with our finger. And then we're going to go further down. If you scroll down, there's an option that says advanced, and there's going to be three options under it that say not allowed, not allowed, not allowed. And that's where we're going to change those to have full permission. So we're going to tap on the first one. So display over other apps, tap on that. And we're just going to tick by pressing the little slider, just tick on it there, and that gives it full permission for that. That's fine. Go back using the top left-hand arrow, down to the next one, modify system settings. Tick that. Go back again, the top left-hand corner, and then the third one, install unknown app. So we're going to click on that one, and once again, just give it full permission by pressing the little slider button there. Go back to the arrow there, and all three of them now should say allowed, 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 which is great. So that's all we need to do for now. I can press the home button to go back, and I can either click on the little square if I want to, or I can just swipe up again, and I want to go back to the Beacon PDT app. So we've given the PDT all new permissions again, and the PDT is ready to now do our very first synchronize to make sure it's working. So what we want to do is go to our settings firstly, and we have to give it an IP address and the port number of the back office computer there. So if you now go to your back office, we can press OK to this prompt. We're no longer needing that. We're going to go now to our Wi-Fi sync option up the top there. Okay, so now this Wi-Fi sync prompt is on the screen, which is good. We're going to use the local IP address, this first IP address mentioned there. Some of your stores will use the WAN IP address, depending on if you access your beacon through another computer, through a VPN, or through a remote desktop connection. You'll use that second IP address instead of this first one. But in my case, my computer is literally at the same site as my PDT, so I'm on the same network. We're also going to use that port number on the right-hand side there. So on my PDT, just back again, I'm going to type in this number that I've got on the screen here. On the PDT, I'm tapping on that prompt on the screen, and I'm typing in like that. Perfect, that's good. With my finger, I'm going to tap on the port field, and I'm going to type in that number that was previously on the other screen, this port number there. Perfect. Once I'm done, I just hit that little green tick down the bottom right, and then I want to hit the update option on that there. So I tap on update. If this prompt comes up on the screen, you know it's worked successfully. If it doesn't come up, you may need to go back to those previous 3 steps we did just before, allowing full permission on the app. But if you've done that already, this prompt comes up, you know you've done correct from there. So that tells us on the screen, it's updated the settings, which is just what we want. So we press OK to that. And now we can go back and try the synchronize. So we can click on that little red cross up the top to go out of it. So we're out of the settings, and we're now going to go back to PDT sync. So we tap on that, and it will come up like so, and it wants you to either press start Wi-Fi sync or exit. So we want to go to start Wi-Fi sync. So we tap on that. Now at the same time, on the Beacon back office, we need to go to Wi-Fi sync up here, and you'll see it's now starting to synchronize. Once it's completed its synchronize, you will see down the bottom there, it does say last synchronization completed in X amount of seconds. So that's perfect. If it doesn't connect, you need to make sure that the IP address you typed in was the correct one. But on my PDT, it's done. I can now press the exit sync button down there. Okay, and I'm ready to go. I can then do any of my data entry and come back and try another synchronize, and it will work successfully. And that is the simple nature of how you can upgrade the PDT's software. Thanks for watching our video on how to update the Android PDT software. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at support@beaconsoftware.com.au.